All right, let's go down the examples. Number one, they should have never brought Amber and Anthony back together in the first place. If y'all were going to do that, then it shouldn't be all the problems that's going on. Now you're bringing Ben and Danielle into the situation, which is cool. I'm glad she's around new people. Now you have this other black woman that I have a feeling that Anthony gonna start sleeping with next. Not only that, you have Shayla and Iman and then Delicia. Now you're going away from that situation with Iman and Delicia and Shayla finding out to her dating King. Then you have Lauren that we don't even know her story, and now she's going after Wayne, and she's got these two. What? Then you have Dominique acting like single white female, trying to bust the windows out somebody's car, except she flattened the tires. You got Sonny that is still chasing behind Mike for what? Y'all don't have kids together no more. He's with Dominique. You did the same thing when it came to Melissa. Delusional. It's the delusion that for me. It's like you want to make it seem like these beautiful women are better than unattractive women when they're not, because you're treating and doing them the same way you're treating and doing unattractive women. Now, yes, attractive women can get men quicker, and they can even get a man to marry them, date them, or whatever, but they can't keep a man. Clearly, we're seeing this in these skits. Clearly, we're seeing it. Now, the fact that you have Jocelyn and Ralphie that went through all of this stuff to get together. Now you're bringing Ty back from the dead. Why are y'all bringing this man back from the dead? Why? We don't need Ty back from the dead. Just like Jacoby. Jacoby was with this girl. Now he going after this older. What? What? Then you get all this stuff going on with the school. Look, we don't need none of this. You're bringing in characters we don't know. Then we have Deja going after Dalen for $350,000 and y'all got rid of nowhere. What? This is how I know they don't have writers, because none of this makes sense. Wayne, Mike, Amber, whoever is producing, please make these skits make sense. They don't make sense. The only one that makes sense is probably Jay Ernestine and the Nadia situation, because that's what happens when you date somebody that got kids, and the Bethany situation. Those are the only two that make sense. Every other skit don't make sense. Excuse me. Then you got Maggie, Chase, and that situation. When are you going to make Maggie make a move on Chase? It's like y'all slow walking this because y'all don't have writers, and it clearly shows y'all don't have writers. You need writers, Wayne. You need writers that can write these skits and write scenarios that make sense, that start and have a middle and actually have an end. The problem is either there's no middle or there's no end. Why y'all bring Ty back? Well, you didn't need to bring Ty back. You could have brought Ty back in a whole different character. But all of this stuff y'all got going on with Jocelyn, then he should have stayed with Sade. Y'all had him with Sade, and then you had him messing with Jocelyn again. All we want is to see one of these characters actually have a wedding and it actually work out. Y'all stripped us of that when it came to Lawrence and Erica. Now you want to strip us from that when it comes to Jocelyn and Ralphie. Y'all don't want black women to be happy at all in these skits. Y'all just don't. And I'm sorry. You don't. I could write something better than this here. And bring a bunch of people on there, whether they're unattractive, got a disability, and still have a show. Okay? Y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better. They need actual producers that actually know how to produce, to have experience. None of these people have experience in this, and we clearly can see it. And it is nothing personal towards any of y'all. But quality is quality. We're not getting quality. We're getting quantity, not quality. And I'm sorry. I would rather have 30 minutes to 45 minutes of these skits than have them every single solitary day. Seriously. And I'm not the only person that feel that way. But I am somebody that reviews these Kountry Wayne Skits, I am somebody that is a writer. I am somebody that also does healing and recovery as a coach. And I'm sorry, y'all are causing self-esteem, self-worth, self-value issues. These skits, I don't care what nobody's saying, are based upon real life situations. And there are people that have said they are traumatized by these skits because they go through this every day. And what they don't understand is men are influenced by this. Y'all wonder why black men and black women can't stay together? Well, it's being shown on these Kountry Wayne Skits as to why. They just are. And as somebody that is trying to go against the grain and saying we deserve to have love stories no differently than any other race. We deserve to have, movies that basically essentially no different than anybody else. Why do ours got to be so different? Why is it it's always got to be a mad black woman or angry black woman, a black woman being a hoe, a black woman going from this man, everywhere, man, old McDonald had a farm? I'm tired. Now, this is nothing against Kountry Wayne, but it's time for somebody to come out and say it for what it is. You're losing followers because we're tired. You're losing followers because y'all don't have writers. You are losing followers because the skits are no longer working at this point. Y'all got to decide whether you're going to turn this into a TV series, whether y'all going to get a Netflix deal and do this for 30 minutes a week, something. But this just needs a TV series at this point. Turn it into a TV series at this point. Take it to the next level. Because y'all can't keep doing these skits at this point. They're confusing, they're not working, and you can't have writers for 3 minutes, so y'all got a choice to make. Either you're going to bring writers in, and they're going to come in and say, this is how these skits are going to be. This is the actual what's going to be done. They're going to write out the skits. Because having the cast write these skits, don't get me wrong, the cast does a phenomenal job. The cast ain't the issue. The issue is y'all have no writers. You need writers at this point. Y'all need somebody that actually can direct and produce these skits, and you're going to have to pay for it. The problem is they don't want to pay. That's the problem. It's a lot of black people that do not want to pay. You'd be amazed how much black actors actually get paid. They don't get paid as much as a Caucasian person or any other race of people when it comes down to black movies. They don't get paid. Some of them only get paid $10,000. Some of them get paid $1,000. They don't get paid as much. Chad Boseman made $3 million off a movie that is now a multi-billion-dollar movie. I digress at this point. Dash tell you something. So at the end of the day, Kountry Wayne, you need to get some professionals. I'm sorry. I love Mike. I love Amber. I love all of them. But no. You need to get somebody in there that is going to also bring writers and somebody that can be a screenwriter. Y'all need writers. Point blank, period. You need writers. So that's my thought on that. So y'all need writers. Point blank, period. You need writers. Because this is not working what you're trying to do. It isn't working. It just ain't. So like I said, I understand the fact that there are people on these panels every day talking about these Kountry Wayne skits, but not I said the pussycat. I'm doing mine once a week. And like I said, if the stories are repetitive, I'm not doing it at all. Because at the end of the day, the stories are all the same. There's nothing different. There's nothing different at all. Like I said, it's just more or less about stereotypes. And it's getting redundant at this point. So like I said, will I be back doing the Kountry Wayne skits? Sooner than what people think. I'm just going through a funeral next week. So I'm taking this week off. Next week, I'll be back to doing my Kountry Wayne skits. Then I have to move back here. Once I move back, then I'll start back. But y'all got to do better at this point. Bye.